Ancient Egypt is often presented as a civilization frozen in the past. Stone tools, primitive beliefs, simple people worshiping the sun. But that version of Egypt exists only in textbooks. The real Egypt was structured around restriction, not ignorance. Knowledge was never public. It was layered. One layer for farmers, one for craftsmen, one for priests, and one that almost no one ever reached. That highest layer did not deal with gods as myths. It dealt with systems, systems of time, systems of human consciousness, systems of biological control. Egypt did not collapse. It withdrew. And when a civilization withdraws its knowledge instead of sharing it, history rewrites it as primitive. By the time Cleopatra ruled, Egypt had already lost political independence, but not intellectual dominance. What survived was the inner structure of ritual science. Clothing was not fashion. It was a tool. Every fiber mattered. Every material interacted with the body. Lion skin was not chosen for symbolism alone. It was chosen because of properties. Lion skin retains heat differently. It reacts uniquely to sweat and pressure. When worn tightly, it alters body temperature and heart rhythm. Ancient Egyptian texts describe garments that wake the solar blood. This was not poetry. It was physiological language. The preparation of lion skin involved days of soaking in mineral-rich Nile water, exposure to sunlight at specific hours, and sealing with natural oils that prevented decay while keeping the skin alive in texture. This was biological engineering. Cleopatra was educated inside temple systems closed to outsiders. She did not learn history. She learned activation. Her education included breath control rituals, sound-based meditation, poison resistance training, astronomical timing, body chemistry awareness. This is why Roman historians described her presence as overwhelming rather than beautiful. Her power was not appearance, it was effect. When Cleopatra wore lion skin, it was during specific ceremonies tied to solar cycles. Not daily wear, not casual display. The garment signaled readiness, readiness for ritual, readiness for command, readiness for transformation. Egyptian temples were not places of prayer, they were environments. The walls were placed to trap sound. The ceilings shaped airflow. The floors transferred vibration through bare feet. Priests were trained to speak in tones that activated chambers. Modern acoustic tests show that certain rooms amplify frequencies that affect the nervous system. People did not pray in temples. They changed in them. This explains why only trained individuals were allowed inside inner chambers. Untrained minds could not handle the effects. Archaeologists have found sealed chambers with no burial objects, no bodies, no inscriptions, no gold, just geometry. These were not unfinished tombs, they were locked systems. Ancient warnings carved near some chambers speak of imbalance, not curses. The danger was psychological. Egypt understood that exposure to certain knowledge without preparation destabilizes the human mind. So they buried it, not under sand, under silence. Pharaohs were selected based on physical and neurological traits. Height mattered. Bone structure mattered. Breathing patterns mattered. Royal inbreeding was not ignorance. It was control. They were maintaining compatibility with ritual systems that required specific biological responses. This is why pharaohs were depicted larger than others, not as ego, but as functional hierarchy. They were the only ones capable of standing at the center of the system. Rome conquered land, but Egypt terrified Rome, because Egypt could influence without armies. Roman elites secretly studied Egyptian practices. Some rituals were banned outright, not because they were false, but because they worked. The destruction of Egyptian knowledge was systematic, not violent. Rewrite the story, change the narrative, label it myth. That was enough. Even today, Egypt presents problems modern science avoids. Stone precision beyond known tools. Alignments accurate to fractions of degrees. Human remains showing unusual cranial features. Instead of answers, there is silence. Because admitting advanced ancient knowledge breaks the timeline, and timelines protect power. Egypt did not leave instructions. It left warnings. Knowledge without discipline corrupts. Power without balance destroys. That is why Egypt sealed its greatest achievements. Not because humanity was unworthy, but because humanity was not ready. And perhaps it still isn't.